Hello AVA and welcome to week 2 of CGO 15. I'm your caster Steadlock and with me here is Ink. Today we're going to be casting FairyTale vs Lucky. For let's see, FairyTale we've got, which team is that? Luxie, Surreal, Centaurs, Hoopsie, and Shinmazu. Luxie over here at Rifle, he's pretty top tier rifle. Surreal Scoping, he's pretty top tier as well. Centaur is pretty decent, Hoopsie's pretty decent, and Shinmazu is fairly decent as well. Colors on the opposite team, Lucky is fairly decent at rifle. He does work with his para. Vanguard at rifle. Volt Tackle is a big carry with his scope. I'm not sure if he's going to be PGMing or not, but he does work as well. And xFlow at Pointman, I've seen him in the past couple days. He does some fairly decent Pointman pushes using his Verusk and whatnot. And to round it out, we got PX Violent on the rifle as well. I haven't seen him too much, but I think he's a fairly decent player as well, seeing he's on this FairyTale team. Or wait, FairyTale and like Lucky team. I apologize. We got Lucky, I believe, starting out on defense, and then FairyTale on offense. And also this stream we are going to be giving out a key for some I suppose AVA equipment. We've got some Ian armor, or actually a full set of Ian for 7 days, a Python for 3 days, and a pumpkin grenade for 1 day, so be sure to stick around till the end for that key. Looks like we're going to be starting out on India. This map is a fairly balanced map. I think offense is a bit more predicated towards organized pushes. The pushes are a bit somewhat bottlenecked on Site 1. But you can go in through vent as well, so I mean, there's a bunch of versatility when it comes to taking sites, as well as too, you can go through courtyard of 2, as well as going around the back. There's plenty of entryways, and starting off the game, we get a dead round. Yeah. Well then, waiting on these guys to leave the room, and for I don't know what's going on. Somebody disconnected. Anyway, guess I'll just go a quick run through of what I expect to see from both of these teams. FairyTale, the top team there on the offense, they're just seems like a thrown together team for this CGO. It's like kind of last minute, I believe. I don't recall seeing them play together in the past, but I think they're a good group of players. As long as they stick together, I think they can pull through. But I believe the favorite in this one's gonna have to be Lucky, with their Volt Tackle at scope, colors at rifle, and xFlow at Pointman. They're pretty great at fragging. Volt Tackle's shown in the past that he can put up big numbers with huge carries. I know I've played with colors in the past. He does very well at Rifleman. And then, yeah, like I said earlier, past couple of days I've seen xFlow play. He's good at pushing, very aggressive Pointman. But then again, I guess we'll see what happens. I expect it to be a close game, but then again, it can go downhill very fast. Waiting on the last players to ready up. And if you missed it, just in case, before we start here, be sure to stick around till the end. We'll be giving away a stream package code for some fully in Python and a pumpkin grenade. Here we go, starting it off. Alright, FairyTale is going to be starting off on the offensive side of the map, so I guess I'll be specking from their angle. And we're starting off the FairyTale team is setting up to take over mid fairly quickly here. We've got 3 guys in mid, 4 guys in mid, and then 1 player playing off by himself at 2. So I believe they're going to be setting up for a 2 take fairly soon here. They're going to be picking mid, Cyril on the scope, clearing mid, making sure everything's okay, no corners being camped. He's going to peek site 2 real quick, sees nothing. Then 2 riflemen are going to be setting up to take over courtyard right now of 2. Firing off a few rounds, making sure nobody's peeking. Now they're going to push into sight. Full tackle on a quick pick. Looks like it's a quick 2K into sight, taking over sight. Now they got sight right now and they're going to get bombed down. Sight. They're setting up right now. Hoopsy gets a defensive kill, Looksy gets a defensive kill, and Cyril gets a defensive kill to take that round for FairyTale, I believe. That's fairly quick, actually. It's quick execution. The setup was a bit long, but the execution was quick, and they managed to get the first round. Now FairyTale is setting up for a 1 push, or 1 take. They've got 3 guys setting up in this pillar room. Cyril's going to be clearing the stairs and working downstairs right now. While we've got 2 players in mid-event, yeah, they're definitely going to be setting up for one take right now. They're going to wait on a pick probably by Cyril here as he peeks into sight. He's getting shot up from stairs. They're going to shoot into Vanguard. They get 1. They're probably going to push in now. Looksy goes in first. He gets taken. Claws on the defense. A lot of chaos going on right now. Volt tackle the only one up, defending sight, and then he gets dropped by Hoopsy.
Operation success. Return to main base.
A lot of chaos going on right now. I think the defense has been pretty wise to FairyTale's setups, but they still haven't been able to defend very well. Opening frag by Vanguard, nade into Hoopsy through vent. Unfortunate spot to die. Now it's 4v5 in advantage of Lucky. FairyTale right now is working straight through mid. They don't even know that they're going to be in mid flanking. Flo gets dropped from a flank. Looksy's about to flank Volt Tackle in 2. They're going to be setting up to take over 2 as soon as they get Volt Tackle. They see him in there. He's getting shot up. He takes down 1, but then Looksy gets the trade kill, and they're going to be setting in site 2 right now. Shinmazu gets a rotational kill. Vanguard gets the drop, and then Cyril gets the trade onto Vanguard, and now it's a 1v2 situation for Tap on the Lucky team. It's got a bit of a obstacle right here. Cyril and Looksy, both 2 top players of FairyTale right now, defending this bomb. He gets 1, catches Cyril slipping right there, peeking for no reason. He's got 12 seconds, but then Looksy gets the shot off on Tap there and gets the round. 3 straight for FairyTale. Not exactly sure what Lucky's doing here. Kind of expecting more from them. Maybe they're just a bit jittery. Who knows? But for the moment, FairyTale is whooping them. FairyTale is setting up for 1 push again. They got Cyril on stairs looking for a pick. Centaurs and Shinmazu backing him up. Well, there's action going down in mid as well. They're gonna try. I think they're gonna try and pinch site one. Excuse me. Yeah, Hoopsy's gonna come around here and try and flank xFlow. xFlow gets dropped. They're gonna pinch site one. Looksy into Tap Shinmazu into Vanguard. Colors on the defense. He's the only one standing up in his site right now. He's the only one up. Period. Defends one. It looked like he was about to get knifed by Looksy, but then Centaurus gets the kill before he can do so. And that's yet another round for FairyTale. So far looking like a roll. A dominant play by FairyTale. FairyTale gets the pick onto Volt Tackle, and then Flo gets a kill onto Centaurs. Now it's 4v4. Pretty even. Looksy's in trouble there with C4. You better get out of there quick. Couple of trades in mid. Now it's a 2v2 situation. Nice shot by Colors and the Shinmazu. Now it's a 1v2 situation for Looksy. He has C4 though, luckily. He can probably pull this off. There's going to be somebody up mid. Gets one. He's got one more guy to go. I don't think he knows he's in sight. He's going to take off to one actually. I think he actually does know that Colors is in sight too. They both have scopes. He's going to be waiting for Colors to rotate. They're going to meet up here right in front of... Oh, snap. Looksy gets the nice clutch. 1v2 clutch right there. And now it's yet another found for FairyTale, and now it's 5-0 in favor of FairyTale. And now this offense is starting to get really aggressive. They're not really walking too much. They're just strafing around. Volt Tackle into Looksy up mid. Surreal's going to meet him in mid. He shoots him through the wall. Centaurs is going to come up behind him, shoot him in the back, and now they've got control right now. They're going to watch the mid. They better watch the mid at least. Get some rotational kills. Tap gets a defensive kill on Centaurs, and then Hoops gets a trade kill into Tap. Now it's 3v3 situation. They're going to go through vent. They're going to take over site 1 right now. And unfortunately, Lucky doesn't have the site. They have zero control of site 1 because they ditched it for some reason. Maybe they felt that they were going to go to 2, but right now they've got to take over site. Colors gets an entry kill, and then another entry kill, and then... okay. Colors goes huge with the 3 on in favor of Lucky. Because of Colors' huge play right there, getting a 3k site entry. And I believe he defused the bomb as well. Sick play by Colors right there. Bringing his team back a bit. Oh, it looks like we got a setup for a site 2 push right now. They're not being very aggressive. They're actually going quite slow. Slow pushing through Spiral right now. Nobody's really gonna meet up. They're not gonna meet up with them too soon, it seems. Nobody's in Mini. Nobody's in Courtyard. I think they're gonna run into him basically in site 2. Coming up real quick. Flo's playing that corner. Surreal's waiting for a peek. He's gonna peek. He gets dropped by Flo. Flo gets 1 kill, but then gets traded by Looksy, and then Hoopsy gets a kill onto Tap. Now they got site control. Volt Tackle into Centaurs right there. Gets a defensive pick. Now it's a 3v3 situation. It's fairly even. The scope is up for the other team. Shinmazu trading a few bullets with Colors, and then he gets dropped. Now it's a 2v3. Looksy gets dropped by Vanguard, and then Hoopsy gets dropped by Vanguard. And then that is a nice recovery right there for the team of Lucky. They get their 2nd round in a row. And that's a much needed momentum push for the Lucky team. They're down 5-2 and they need these rounds in order to possibly contest this map. Hard push by team FairyTale going into 1 right now. They got 1 pick. They're going to be pushing. Surreal gets a nice shot in the Colors. Bullets being traded left and right. Looksy into Vanguard, and then Hoopsy into Volt Tackle in a 1v5 situation. And then Tap gets dropped by Surreal. That was a quick 30-second round, and FairyTale gets the first half. 6-2. That was lopsided. That was pretty lopsided. That was really good work by this slapped together team FairyTale. 6 rounds to 2. Jeez. Well, for the most part, it looked like a lot of team play by FairyTale. They were taking side as a group. They were waiting on that first initial pick. They got it for the most part. About every single time they got, actually. And then they were able to close in on site every which way, it seemed. And then they got the bomb down, and then easy win. 6 rounds. Now, Lucky's going to be on the offense, and they've got quite an obstacle in front of them. They've got, let's see, they're down 4 rounds, and in order to win, they need to win 6-1, or at least tie it 6-2. So it's a bit of an issue. Oh, and real quick, be sure to stick around to the end. We've got a stream code for you, full Ian, 7 days, 3 days of Python, and a pumpkin grenade. Alright, starting off, we've got a 1 setup, it seems, from the offense of Lucky. Pushing into pillar slowly here, making sure everything's clear. While the FairyTale defense has 3 men in sight, 1 man in mid, and then 1 man in 2. Pretty generic defense. Seems to work most of the time. Colors pops a nade into stairwell. Vanguard about to pop another nade. Seeing if there's any players in there. Unfortunately, they do not know. Unfortunately, they do not know there's nobody in in stairs here, so they're wasting grenades one after the next. They've got 3 players already pushed up. They're going to push straight into sight now. They got 3 players in. Vanguard gets an entry kill, and then Luxie gets a couple defensive kills. Luxie gets a triple kill on the defense. Now he's dropped by Vanguard's 3rd kill as well. That's weird. They got a couple of trades there, but for the most part, Luxie and Vanguard were doing work. And now Cyril's the only one up on his defensive side here for the FairyTale team. He's going to meet up with Voltak, but then gets dropped. And that is that first round going for Lucky. Vanguard did work for his team there on the entry kill, and Luxie actually did well for his team as well on 3 defensive stops. Lucky's going to be setting up for another 1 push here. They've got 4 men in pillar. They're needing that stairwell, but yet again they just continue to waste nades on that stairwell, not knowing that there's not a single person in there.
Grenade!
Bit of a slow play going on here. Volt Tackle's working on men by himself, looking for picks.
Fire in the hole!
Nothing much going on. The offense is just sitting steady on the 1 setup. Got 2 guys on stairs, 1 guy in pillar, another guy in mini L. Fairly passive offense going on at the moment. They're just waiting for peeks. Both teams just waiting for peeks. Nothing going on. But it looks like Hoopsy might get dropped here in mid. He's going to be peeking mid. Nope, Volt Tackle misses. So then again, we'll be waiting for another minute. Oh, never mind. Maybe like 30 seconds. Yeah, there's going to be a push very soon. Yep, site one. They're going to get two guys in sight. Going to be trading bullets. Flo gets a kill. Cyril gets a kill. There's a trade. There's 4v4. But they have site one. All four men of the offense in site one right now. The bomb's down as well. All four of the defensive men on the outside of one, so they're pretty screwed. Smokes are getting popped. Volt Tackle gets a defensive kill. Drops Cyril through smoke, it seems, or maybe smoke died down. He sees another in front door. Hoopsy misses a shot. Two coming on the flank. One gets dropped to Vanguard. Volt Tackle gets another kill into Hoopsy, and then Colors gets a defensive kill into Luxie. Now it's 2 rounds in favor of Lucky. 2 straight rounds. Lucky's looking to bring it back, and so far it seems like they've got a chance at this. They've got 2 rounds in a row, and it's been fairly lopsided rounds as well. Oh man, they're gonna be. I suppose those nades actually paid off eventually, as the defense is actually playing on stairs now. They've got 2 players there, one with an M4, one with a para. No idea why they're playing. Alright, now they're gonna back off. We're really unsure what's going on there, but more extremely slow play. Volt Tackle's gonna peek into stairwell, sees nobody there, then he's gonna let the rifleman go in. Couple of para players there. Tap's gonna run into Surreal and get picked. Now it's 4v5 advantage for Team FairyTale. Colors and Vanguard shooting a couple bullets into one. Shinmazu's ready for the rotate. He's gonna jump in sight if he sees any pushes, so it's pretty stacked at site 1 right now. Vanguard gets a few bullets off into Luxie. Luxie gets a few bullets off into Vanguard. Now they're gonna have Flo going straight down mid. Volt Tackle, but then he gets caught by Shinmazu, who catches him on the rotate. But Volt Tackle trades them, gets the trade kill on Shinmazu. Now Colors is gonna come up through mid. Surreal just misses him though. Well, actually, Surreal is gonna meet up with him possibly. No, Colors is gonna run into him and get him from the back. Volt Tackle got a pick into spawn, and now it's a 2v2 situation. I'd say in favor of Lucky. They've got their scope up still. 1 hit potential. He sees one guy but misses. He shoots it back into Centaurus, doesn't miss the second time. Then he sees Luxie coming through the door. Colors comes around and gets the save there. And that's a 3rd straight round in favor of Lucky. And Volt Tackle's going fairly huge right now, 7-0 for his team. Right below him is Vanguard at 5-1, but then he gets dropped. Volt Tackle gets dropped by Luxie in mid, now he's 7-1, but still, I mean, that's a pretty large margin. 7 kills, 1 death. For the opposite team, we got Luxie sitting at 5-3, big carry, compared to his teammates at least. Surreal's at 2-3, Hoopsy's at 1-3, Shinmazu's at 1-3. Hoopsy gets a kill into Vanguard, brings his score back up a bit, but still quite negative. They've got to pick it up for their team. Luxie gets a shot into Colors, going 6-3 right now. Surreal into Tap on the defensive kill there, and now they're closing in on Flo. Hoopsy gets a kill into Flo, and little by little, FairyTale fell apart for their first round lost. I believe the total score right now is 7-5 in favor of FairyTale. Luxie's pushing up mid here. He sees Volt Tackle. He's gonna get a few bullets into him. Volt Tackle's gonna try and piece. Yeah, he's gonna try to get some cover there. He's getting shot up a bit, but then he gets a shot into Luxie. Luxie gets dropped. Now it's a 5v4 advantage for Lucky. Lucky's gonna be setting up at 2 Spout right now. He's running into Surreal. Surreal's gonna get shot up and he's gonna get dropped. They're gonna start pushing into site 2 fairly quickly here. Shinmazu's in there for the defense. He's gonna meet up with them fairly soon. He's at 1 HP though. He's really lit. They're gonna run in, meet him up, get dropped. Bull Tackle's gonna get a pick on a Hoopsie. Centaurs is the only one up now. It's a 1v4 for Centaurs. He's sitting at 1.5 score and 3 death. Not doing too well for his team. Probably not gonna be picking up this round for them either. And then he gets dropped by Flo. And that is 4-1 in favor of Lucky this half. And a total score of 7-6, I believe, which is coming up close. Coming up fairly close. Surreal's gonna meet Volt Tackle in mid and drop him for the quick pick. Looksy pushes and gets another quick pick into Vanguard. Looksy gets another kill into Colors with a headshot. Two headshots in a row. And now he's got control of Pillar right now. That was a nice couple picks of the from the FairyTale team right there. And now they got a huge advantage. It is now 5 versus 2. But I mean, we've seen 5 versus 2s happen. We saw it last week with SNC and UCG. So I mean, it's possible. It can happen still. Tap and Flow being the only ones up for their team. Sitting at bottom frag 2 and 3 and 0 and 4. Let's see what they've got. Chilling in spawn. Let's see what they've got. Let's see what they've got. Spawn camp. Okay, well, they're spawn camping right now. Not sure what kind of tactic this is. Maybe somebody had to AFK for a second. Maybe it's dinner time for one of the kitties. Who knows what's going on. Shinmaz is going to meet up with Flo right now. Flo gets the worst of that trade. Then he gets killed by Shinmazu. Now it's a 1v5 for Tap. Gonna meet into Shinmazu, and then Shinmazu gets a second kill there. Cleans it up for his team. Now it's 44-2 in favor of Lucky. However, all FairyTale needs to do is just get one more round, and they got this map. It is 8-6, I believe. Volt Tackle gets a quick 2-kill right there, right in mid, as he finds 2 men pushing up like idiots. Hoopsie gets a quick pick into Vanguard, and then Surreal into Volt Tackle, and now it's evened up at 3-on-3. It was looking fairly grim for the FairyTale team there, but they managed to pull it back within a couple seconds. Now it's up to Tap, Colors, and Flow to get the next round for their team in order to keep them alive for this map. Surreal's going to be coming around in mid. He might run into Flow here. I don't think he knows he really doesn't know he's there in the corner. He's probably going to get dropped here fairly soon, and yeah, he's going to get killed. Unfortunately, Surreal might be a bit peeved on that one. That was a pretty gay play on xFlow, but I mean, it's a pick. Now Shinmazu into Tap. And now it's a 2v2 advantage or situation for Shinmazu and Hoopsie on the defense, and xFlow and Colors on the offense. They get bombed down. They've got sight 1. Control. Colors has a scope. He drops Hoopsie. Now Shinmazu's the only one up for his team. He can possibly do this. Nope, he gets dropped with a headshot by xFlow. And that is a good round for the FairyTale team. Or Lucky team. Excuse me. Lucky gets their 5th round, and it is actually fairly possible now for an overtime. Oh man. An overtime for this map. They're sitting at 5-2 right now. If they get another round, it's going to be 6-2, and it'll be a tie game. And they're going to have to go into overtime for this map. However, if FairyTale gets another round, then that would be a map win for FairyTale. So hopefully that happens. Please.
Grenade straight ahead. Fire in the hole.
Then again, I don't know if you guys are really into overtime. in really intense matches, I suppose overtime would be a good thing. So let's see. They're all setting up for a 2-push right now. Volt Tackle's at the front of the push right now. Surreal gets a defensive pick into Vanguard. Now it's a 5v4 in advantage. FairyTale in advantage. Volt Tackle into Luxie real quick. Now they're going to set up to push into Sig 2 fairly quickly here. If Volt Tackle gets another pick, I could think they're just going to push straight in there and set the bomb and possibly take the round and put it into overtime. But we'll see. It's 44. Pretty even. Both scopes are up. Got a smoke down in mid. Centaur's going to be flanking him right now. Close. Oh, he gets a 2K right there with him not even noticing that he was going to be flanking. And that pretty much seals it for Team FairyTale because of Centaurs. He just got a 2K in mid, drops the scope, drops the rifleman, and they're going to be cleaning up here and taking the map. That's a good game. Good map. Map goes to FairyTale. Score of, I believe, let's see, 9 to 7? 9 to 7. Good game. That, well, I guess that was a very close match. I did in fact expect that to happen, but I didn't expect FairyTale to pull through like that. That was a great play by Luxie and Surreal, and for the most part, it was those two players, Luxie and Surreal, doing work for their team. Centaur's got a pretty epic 2K and mid that gave them that map essentially. And Hoopsie and Shinmazu, haven't been seeing much of them. They're supporting, I suppose. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, I have Volt Tackle. He did carry on the offensive side of the map, but I didn't see much going on the defensive side. I think more so Colors was a bigger part of the defense, but still, I mean, they only put up 2 rounds, so there wasn't much going for them. Almost pulled it back, however, when they switched over to offense, but not strong enough, I suppose, as they lost 7-9. And now I believe we're going to be going to the second map of the best of 3. I'm not exactly sure what map that'll be. Duel or Hammer. Dual Site is the next map, I've been told. Fairly exciting map, people. It is another one of those classic AVA maps, just like India. It is, I'd say, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it's, in my opinion, it's more of an offensive sided map. You've got an entire mid to secure, and once you've got that secure, you got plenty of options. Well, on the defense, you've got I suppose you got a mid rotate. Both sides have fairly easy rotates, so I guess it could be fairly even matchup for the FairyTale and Lucky teams. If they would switch the maps here, might be able to get going pretty soon. Okay, while we're waiting here, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube, follow the Twitch, and like the Facebook page. I believe it is youtube.com/CGO CGO Media? CGO Media? CGO Media? Yes, youtube.com/CGO Media. Obviously, the Twitch, the CGO Media as well. I mean, you're staring at it right now. Should be able to know. And Facebook, facebook.com/ I wish I knew that link as well. I'm sure you can find it if you search CGO AVA on Facebook fairly easily. But don't forget to like. Yeah. Setting up for dual site here fairly soon. I believe FairyTale is going to be on defense and Lucky's going to be on offense. I'm assuming this because they're set up that way. But I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody's reading up, so I believe that's how it's going to start out. FairyTale on defense, Lucky on offense. For this map, I'm probably going to be looking for a Volt Tackle to do work. This is one of his stronger maps. I'm surprised he didn't do amazing on India defense. That's another one of his maps. Seeing as they're starting on offense, though, they can get quite the lead here. Considering this is, like I said, probably one of Volt Tackle's better maps. I also saw xFlow play on this map not too long ago. He's got very aggressive pushes in the mid. Mid to top one seems to be one of his faves. Or underground push. Anything. He pushes. That's about a lot. All he does, push. And colors is a solid rifle. Not exactly sure how well he does on this map. I think he'll do just fine though. I think key players on the opposite team, probably Surreal. We got Shinmazu point manning. I mean, I'd say this is a fairly solid point man map, so be sure to watch xFlow and Shinmazu do get out on their pushes, and be sure to watch Aluxi at rifle. He's been top fragging for his team, and be sure to watch the real. Maybe he can pull some nice picks onto Volt Tackle, save his team from getting carried or dominated by Volt Tackle. Just waiting on the last few players to ready up here. xFlow and tap. Okay, apparently one of their players is getting back on the anti-cheat. Well, as we wait on these last few players, I want to grab a water real quick. Should only take me a couple seconds. Alright, I'm back. Alright, they're all rated up, and we're waiting on the host to go. Okay, here we go. Be sure to stick around to the end. We got a stream code for you viewers. It's fully in for 7 days. Python and a pumpkin grenade, so like I said, be sure to stick around. Lucky's gonna be starting out on offense. They're gonna be doing a quick push to 1 right now. Volt tackle gets picked in mid though. Hoopsy's gonna see Flow. They're gonna get. Oh, Flow doesn't see Hoopsy though, and Hoopsy gets the better of that exchange right there. Hoopsy dropping Flow, and now it's a 3v5 advantage for FairyTale. Colors gets the pick into Surreal. Now it's a 4v3. They're on top 1 right now. They're trading bullets into Hoopsy. Vanguard gets a nice headshot into Hoopsy, and then Shimazu's coming up on the flank right now with that point man. 1 into Vanguard, and then Centaur's gonna cross and drop into Colors, get a kill. Well, actually, Luxie somehow steals the kill, and then Shinmazu cleans up it with the kill into Bambi Baby. Ba-ba-boo-boo-ba-boo. And first round goes to the defense of FairyTale. And yet again, they're gonna have a fast push 2-1 right now. Bambi's gonna follow X-Flow to top 1. And a couple players in mid right now. They're gonna be looking to battle out. But Hoopsy sees Bambi Baby in the corner while Flow is in sight right now. Vanguard's gonna trade a couple bullets with Hoopsy on top 1. Bambi's gonna support him. Vanguard's gonna drop the sight or the bomb in sight 1 right now. And now it's a 3v3 situation for nobody. Well, for the round, I suppose. And now it's a 2v1. 2v nothing. And FairyTale picks up their 2nd round in a row. That was a bit hard to follow there for a second. But Lucky managed to get the bomb down. And it was a 3v3 situation, and then FairyTale actually closed in on sight, took it over, and defused that bomb. And now Lucky's going to be pushing up strong mid. Luxie gets a nade on the Volt tackle to scope, and then Flow gets a trade into Surreal, and then Luxie gets a trade right back on the Flow, and then Vanguard into Luxie. A couple trades, and now it's a 3v3. Centaur's going to meet Bambi Baby, and then he's going to drop him. Color's going to come up real quick with the scope and possibly run into. Yep, he runs in another trade. Just a whole bunch of so many trades going on in mid. 2v2 situation right now. Vanguard and Color is the only one up for their offense. Hoopsy and Shinmazu up for their defense. Shinmazu's the point man. He can probably lurk and possibly get a 2k, or Hoopsy can maybe get a 1 kill, and then Shinmazu get a 1 kill. Bring the round in favor of Lucky, or FairyTale, excuse me. Seeing as Colors is sitting at about 10 HP, and Vanguard's a bit lit up as well. Colors is going to be pushing up mid right now. He's going to be looking off to the right where Shinmazu is actually playing. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter because Shinmazu's going to walk away. Oh, never mind. He's going to be coming back. Oh, I don't. What? No. Nope. Shinmazu's playing it. Shinmazu gets lucky and ends up avoiding Colors, who's coming right up mid. Vanguard's going to come straight through tunnel right now. Colors going to meet up with. Oh, they see each other. Colors gets the shot onto, or Shinmazu gets the color on Colors, and that's a 1 kill right there. And Hoopsy's gonna run to Vanguard and then takes the round. That's another round in favor of FairyTale. Now, Lucky is going to be pushing fast to 2 right now. They got 4 guys in the underground / bathroom area. They're going to be battling it out in the bathroom right now. Then Centaur is getting a couple bullets onto Colors, but then he's going to get wall banged out of like 1 HP. Luxie's in there as well. He gets dropped. Colors gets dropped by Centaurs. Now it's a 4v4 situation. Centaurs is going to see Flo coming up. Flo gets the kill onto 2 players there. Quick 2 kill. And now it's a 4v2 advantage for Lucky. They're going to try and take over Site 2. Yep, they're taking over Site 2 right now. Surreal's going to be defending from... Yep, he gets the pick onto Bambi Baby. Now it's a 3v2. And Hoopsy's in tunnel right now. He could possibly get a couple kills right there if he comes up close and sneaks on them. Yeah, he gets 1 kill on the Flow. And then gets dropped by Vanguard, unfortunately. He can get that 2nd kill. Surreal's going to be pushing up into Site right now. He's going to run into... Possibly... No, he gets dropped by Vanguard.
Operation success. Return to main base.
And that'll be the first round in favor of Lucky, which is surprising because it's well, I guess it's not so much a offensive map, seeing as they dropped 3 rounds and only gained 1. The FairyTale Lucky team, excuse me, has 3 players in mid. Colors gets dropped by Surreal. Keep getting these team names mixed up. Now it's a 4v5 advantage. Oh, never mind. Voltackle gets a kill onto Luxie as he's trying to cross bridge there. Now it's a 4v4 situation. They're going to be setting up for a 1 push right here. Flo is at double door. Vanguard's at front at the tank. Bambi Baby is on top 1 right now. And then Voltackle's watching into sight. It's looking like Bambi Baby is probably going to run into Hoopsy, possibly. Nope, he just runs right past him. Bambi Baby is probably going to get a flank kill. Vanguard is going to... Oh, never mind. Hoopsy does yet again get another kill on the guy looking away from him right in the face. And then Shinmazu gets a defensive kill right there on Vanguard. And now it is a 2v4 disadvantage for Lucky. Then Voltackle gets 1 kill onto Hoopsy. Surreal gets a pick on the Flow, and then Centaurs gets a cleanup kill on Voltackle. And that's another round in favor of FairyTale. And now the Lucky team is calling it a dead round. Apparently, I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. Maybe they felt like there's too much momentum going on for the defense. Maybe somebody DC'd, I'm not sure. However, 4-1 in favor of FairyTale. FairyTale yet again showing their power, their strong abilities. Surprising as well. I mean, I expected Luxie and Surreal and I suppose Shinmazu and the rest of them to do well, but they're doing better than I expected. I thought Surreal and Luxie might have had to be pulling a heavy load, but so far Hoopsy, Shinmazu, and Centaurs are holding their own. Oh, we're starting up fairly quick here actually, that's nice. Very fast dead round. And here we go. 4-1 in favor of FairyTale.
Fire in the hole!
There's going to be a heavy, fast 1 or 2 push right now by the Lucky offense, but then they get dropped by Shinmazu and Centaurs, and now they're a bit down. But actually, Centaurs is going to get dropped by Colors as well as Shinmazu, and then Luxie gets a double kill on the Colors and Violent. So there's a quick couple of trades, 2 kill trades actually. Colors got a 2K onto Team FairyTale, and then Luxie just pulled it right back with a couple of kills onto Colors, and I believe that was Violent, yeah. And now it's a 1v3 situation for Vanguard.
Friendly troops eliminated. Operation failure. Return to main base.
FairyTale, they've got 5 players on top TV right now, and they're going to be setting up for a 1 push at the moment. There's only 1 player at 1 wow, only 1 player at 1. They're going to be pushing into Site 1 right now. They got control of Site 1 basically. They're going to run into Shinmazu, he's at 1 HP already. And they're going to get that bomb down. And 5 players up with bomb down. It's going to be a bit chaotic here as they close in on Site. Hoopsy gets a kill on the colors. Vanguard and Pigs Violent get a couple kills onto the FairyTale defense. Volt tackle into Hoopsy, Flow into Centaurs, then Violent into Surreal, and that picks up their second round, I believe. Yeah, second round for the map. Lucky is down 5-2 at the moment. Similar to last game. Down a lot to a little. Centaurs gets a quick pick onto Violent with that flash nade. Volt tackle tries to get a quick pick onto Shinmazu there. Luxie finds a guy in mid and drops him, and now it's a 3v5 disadvantage for Lucky. This Lucky team is just waiting on picks, it seems. Volt tackle's trying to get a few kills onto. He gets 1 right there into Site 2. Shinmazu's playing a bit dumb on the forklift there, peeking with his shoulder. Luxie gets a kill on a Volt tackle, and now it's kind of a wrap for this Lucky team on this half. I'm gonna be counting out Colors and Flow right now because they're fairly lit. They are really lit now. Colors gets a shot into Luxie and kills him, but now it's a 3v2 huge disadvantage for Lucky. Then Surreal comes around the flank, gets a kill on Colors. Flow with this with the sniper, but then he gets pooped on by Centaurs. And that is 6-2 in favor of FairyTale. Good half. Interesting. They only got 1 round last half, or last before the dead round, and then they got 1 round now, so I believe that's 6-3. Yes, I think I can count. Anyway, another 6-2 victory for FairyTale in the first half, and again, it's looking like FairyTale might take this map as well, seeing as they're up 6-2, just like last map, which was India. Ended up pulling out that map 9-7. Second half getting ready to go here. Waiting on everybody to ready up. Lucky's going to be on defense. FairyTale's going to be on offense. FairyTale's up 6-2 right now. Huge advantage. And like I said, this is a pretty offensive map. Well, yeah, it's an offensive map, and for the most part. So I believe FairyTale should take this pretty easily. They've only got the need for 3 rounds. And I believe they can do so fairly quickly, seeing as they dominated the defensive side of this map. And here we go. Don't forget to stick around till the end. We've got stream codes to give out, or stream code, sorry, to give out. We'll have more tomorrow as well. Get a full Ian set, Python for 3 days, and PNAD as well. Python for 7 days, excuse me, and a pumpkin grenade to go along with that. And here we go. The FairyTale offense is taking over mid. There's nobody in mid, however, for the defense, and they're gonna get that middle fairly easily. Surreal sees a guy in mid, but misses the shot. Could have gotten an easy, quick pick right there. Then he missed the shot, and now he's going to be actually posting up in mid right now. He's going to be looking for a guy rotating, but then he misses a shot again, and now he's going to fall back into mid. Still 5 men up for both teams. Already about a minute into the round. There's 2 men set up over at 2 right now, while 2 are actually 1 player in mid, 1 player at 1, and 3 players are now set up at 2 for the offense. Surreal is going to be looking for picks into sight. He misses 1 shot. He's going to be they're going to start nading, and they get 1 pick onto colors with a flash grenade. They're going to be pushing into sight. They don't know Violence around the corner there though. Voltaco gets a pick onto Shinmazu as he's trying to come in through sight, and then Violent gets a 2K onto the other 2 offensive players. However, Luxie and Hoopsie are going to be taking over site 1 right now. Hoopsie's going to be getting bombed down possibly, and Luxie's going to be getting a few shots in Vanguard, but then Vanguard actually denies him of that kill with his para. Now it's a 1v4 situation for Hoopsie. He knows there's a guy on top 1. He's probably going to go for him, but wow, they were back to back. They were back to back. They didn't even know that. couple of blind guys right there were unaware of their surroundings, just sitting right next to each other. And then Violent gets a nice headshot on the Hoopsie to clean up that round. First round goes to Lucky. Same thing for the FairyTale offense. We got 3 guys in mid right now. 1 guy at 2, 1 guy at 1. Or 1 guy at bathroom, excuse me, and 1 guy at TV. 1 side and 2 side. And then Surreal's going to be doing the same thing. He's going to be peeking up mid, seeing if there's anybody there. He's probably going to run into Violent here. Yep, sees him, gets a pick finally. Jeez. And then now it's a 5v4 advantage for FairyTale. See what they can get going now, seeing as they got a full team up. Volt Tackle looking to defend his site. He's got... Well, they smoked him out there. He gets a defensive pick onto Shinmazu because he runs through the smoke there and gets into the house. And then Vanguard gets a defensive headshot onto Hoopsie. Now it's a 3v4 advantage for Lucky. Actually, Colors is about 1 HP right now, so he could get dropped fairly quickly. Yeah, he gets dropped now. It's a 3v3 situation. Bolt scope still up. Flow's gonna render into Centaurs. Centaurs gets actually Surreal somehow gets the shot on like the jumping Flow and saves his teammate Centaurs, but now Vanguard gets the kill onto Surreal, except there's nobody there to save him. And now it's a 2v2 situation. Looks he's getting a few shots onto Voltaco. Centaurs is about to flank him right now. Centaurs gets a headshot onto Voltaco, and now it's a 1v2 situation. They're gonna close and pinch on Vanguard right now. Centaurs and Luxie coming into sight, and Luxie gets a shot into Vanguard with the scope. Cleans up that round, and now it's 1-1 in favor. Actually, nobody in favor for this half. It's tied all this half. Total score, I believe, is 7-3. Quick push by Flo, but then he gets dropped by Hoopsie, and now they're gonna be just quick pushing into site 2 right now. They got a bit of a pinch going. Surreal gets the pick on the Voltacle in mid. They're gonna be pinching 2 fairly quickly now. 1 coming up behind. They're going to be shooting into Colors. Colors gets a defensive 2 kill right there. but then Shinmazu gets a couple bullets in colors and cleans him up. And now it's a 2v2 situation. Bomb down. They're going to be getting shot from both sides by Centaurs and Luxie, but then Luxie gets dropped, and then Violent gets the shot into Centaurs, and now it's round win for Lucky. That actually could have gone pretty bad for them right there, but they stuck strong and managed to take sight. That was heavily favored for FairyTale right there. They had huge control over sight too, and the flank as well, but they just couldn't pull through somehow. I don't know what happened there. Volt Tackle gets the first pick into Surreal. Now it's 4v5 in advantage of Lucky. Looks he's going to be lurking into Site 1 right now, but he gets dropped. Boom, headshot. Oops, he's going to be trading a few bullets into a guy at mid. Shinmazu gets a pick into Site 2 by Flow, and then Colors drops him, gets the trade kill. Colors and Centaurs going to be trading a few bullets. Centaurs gets the better of Colors, then Violent comes up on the trade kill there. Now it's a 1v3 situation. Excuse me, for Hoopsie. But then he's going to run into Volt Tackle fairly quickly here, and he's going to get dropped. And that is another round win in favor of Lucky. They're sitting at 3-1 right now, and at this pace, it looks like it's going to be 6-2 again. But then again, anything is possible. Flow on the quick push there, gets a nade onto Surreal, or actually Colors gets a nade onto Surreal, and then Flow gets a kill onto Hoopsie. Shinmazu gets the trade onto Flow. Colors gets a kill onto Shinmazu for another trade. Now it's a 4v2 advantage. Now it's a 3v2 advantage, because Centaurs gets a kill onto Colors. Looks he's looking at about 1 HP. If he gets shot here by Violent, he's probably going to get dropped. Yeah, he gets dropped by Volt Tackle with a headshot and a body shot with the Glock. Now they're going to close in on Centaurs. Yeah, he gets dropped as well. Headshot by Violent, and that's another round win for Lucky. And now they're sitting at 4-1. And yeah, at this pace, possible overtime. At this pace, it's 4-1. Both teams need 2 rounds in order to win. Ooh, FairyTale's gonna be setting up for a 1 push right now. They got 3 guys in front of 1. Scope sitting in front of 1 for the FairyTale. Flow comes up on a flank at bridge, gets a 2K. Centaurs and Shinmazu. Now it's a 3v5 situation. Violent gets a 2K into Luxie and Surreal, and that's a 1v5. And they're gonna pinch Hoopsie right now, and he gets 1 kill, 2 kill, but then it's not enough. Colors comes in on the trade, cleans it up. Another round in favor of Lucky. And now it's looking fairly grim. If FairyTale can't get this round, it's actually looking like a map win for Lucky. Shinmazu is wise to Flow's flank push and gets the quick kill there. And now it's a 5v4 advantage for FairyTale, looking like they can pull this back to a possible tie. FairyTale is working around to 2 at the moment. They got Hoopsie and Centaurs at ladder. Surreal and Luxie are in mid. Shinmazu's working around to bathroom. They're going to be setting up for a 2 for sure. They get a smoke out, and they're going to be pushing into Site 2 right now. Hoopsie gets a shot into Violent. Colors gets a defensive kill on the Centaurs. Volt Tackle into Surreal. Colors into Shinmazu on another kill. And then Colors gets or actually Hoopsie gets a trade onto Colors, and then Volt Tackle into Luxie, and then Vanguard into Hoopsie, and that's a good game right there. Good map for Lucky. Total score of, I believe, 62, 8-7. 8-7 in favor of Lucky. So we're going to be going to a 3rd map, people. Fairly good games right there. Decided only by 1 round and 2 rounds. That's pretty much what I expected. And I'm liking it. Really competitive match going on right now in this top 8 bracket. Third map is going to be Hammer Blow. And this map, for sure, very definitive when it comes to how it's sided. It's heavily defensive sided in my opinion. Heavily defensive sided. The sites, I suppose 1 and 2, you can hide in basically. They've got extreme corners, multiple corners as well. So many angles at which you can be shot from, it's ridiculous. So essentially, good luck when you're on offense. I guess the key to win on offense for this map would have to be slow picks, working on getting 1 kill here, and then maybe another kill there, and then like a full team push possibly, I don't know. It's tough to say. Well, while we're waiting here for these teams to sort out who's going to be on offense, who's going to be on defense, do not forget to follow the Twitch. Subscribe to CGO on YouTube, I believe. It's this CGO Media. Or CGO Media, I apologize. And then like us on Facebook as well. And as soon as everybody ready's up, we'll get going here. Hoopsy, Surreal, Centaurs, Luxie, and Shinmazu on FairyTale, Colors, Vanguard, Flow, Volt Tackle, and Violent on the defense of Lucky. Also, be sure to stick around again for the stream code that we're going to be giving out. Full in for 7 days, Python for 7 days, and a pumpkin grenade. Yippee! FairyTale is going to be starting off heading towards 2 right now. They don't have any nades being thrown at them. Actually, they did, but he just barely missed it. Flo's going to get a kill onto Luxie's going to get a kill onto Flo, excuse me. And apparently Cyril got naded at 1. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was naded mid. I'm not exactly sure where he got killed. But now it's a 4v4 situation. Bit of a couple of words being traded from the 2 scopes. They're sitting ready for a push into 2 here. They got 2 guys in warehouse, 2 guys at double door, but nothing much going on at the moment. Hoopsy's trying to get a pick into somebody with that scope, as he's got scope. Still not much going on. Actually, Lux is going to be rotating over here. He's going to meet up with Vanguard. Vanguard's going to get a few shots off into Luxie. Actually, Vanguard's going to get a nice defensive kill. Another kill. Volt Tackle gets a shot into Hoopsie over at 2 as well. And now it's a 1v4 advantage because of a couple of bad plays by the offense. 1v3 for Shinmazu. He's going to be getting shot up. He's going to try and run away, but they're going to be closing in on him fast. He's going to be trying to get away. He's like running like a little mouse. A bunch of cats running after him, and he gets dropped by Volt Tackle. Oh man, that fell apart fairly quickly for the FairyTale team there. They couldn't get that kill onto Vanguard, and they just fell apart. Laid over and died, and meh. Easy. Alright. I believe they're going to be setting up for a 1 push. They got Hoopsie and Centaurs over at 1 bridge, and Luxie and Shinmazu pushing through mid, while Surreal is going to be meeting up with somebody at 2 possibly, but I mean he's over there on his own, so I mean that's not much action. So back to this one side here. They got 4 players at 1 on the offense, and they got 2 players in sight. Vanguard gets a nice wallbang headshot onto Centaurs there. Now it's a 3-on-3 pretty much because the Violent is playing spawn. There's 3 people from both sides. Actually possibly 4 for the defense at 1, and 3 players for the offense. Luxie gets a shot into Violent as Flo is trying to go rotate to 2 because Surreal gets a pick into Volt Tackle as he was unsuspecting, and then pretty much defense falls apart there because the defense had to rotate out to be wise to 2 because of Surreal. So actually that was pretty smart play by Surreal for going off on his own, getting a few shots because it offset the defense, and then his team was able to push into site 1 and take that over and get the bomb down. Now they've got another 1 setup. Yeah, 1 setup. Surreal's going to be in mid by himself, and 4 players are going to be setting up around bridge area / caution steps. They're going to be running into Violent fairly soon here. Luxie's going to see him there behind the pipes. They get a nade onto him. Now it's wow. Colors gets a nice wallbang. 2 consecutive wallbang rounds by the defense. And that's going to be 4v3, 3v3 in advantage of nobody at the moment. It's all tied up right now. Actually, Scope is still up for the offense, so actually that's fairly decent advantage. But then he gets dropped by Flo, and Flo gets a nice 2k there on the 90. But then he gets dropped by Centaurs on the trade. And that's a 2v1. For Centaurs. And he's sitting at about half HP, sitting around the same HP as Colors. I mean, if he can get Colors with a few shots without being hurt, oh, doesn't even, nope, never mind. He gets dropped by Colors para. Colors denies him of the rotate and clutch. Good play by Colors there. Is now 1-2 in advantage of Lucky on the defense. Let's see, we got a bit of a 2 setup actually. There's 3 players at double doors. There's 2 players at 1, however I don't think they're going to be the main push here, as 3 of the offensive FairyTale players are sitting at double door right now, waiting on a possible push. Surreal gets a pick into Colors actually, and now they're going to be rotating to 1 right now because Surreal gets 2 picks into 2 players at 1. Now he's got sight control, and they're going to be getting into sight and probably planting the bomb. And Volt Tackle is going to be coming around the flank because nobody sat behind and watched the flank. So Volt Tackle actually might end up getting a couple kills here. He's going to run into Volt Tackle, he gets dropped. Surreal gets dropped by Volt Tackle, and then Violent gets a shot into Shinmazu, and now it's a 1v3 situation for Luxie. He's going to be shot up. Actually, Centaurs was still up. I didn't notice that. Centaurs and Luxie get a couple of kills right there. Now it's a 2v1 situation for Volt Tackle. He's got to get a kill. No, he gets dropped by Centaurs. I didn't know Centaurs was actually still up there. He's playing the corner by the barrel, and he managed to get 2 kills right there to save his team. And that's a round win for FairyTale, and now it's 2-all. Two rounds on this side of the map. That's actually keeping up as well. It's a 2-all score. Didn't really expect it to be fairly competitive. I thought it was going to be kind of lopsided for the defense. They're going to be pushing the site into warehouse right now. Flo is 1 HP. He's going to get picked by Luxie there. Now it's a trade for Luxie, and now it's a 4v4 situation. Surreal gets a shot in a Volt Tackle. Hoopsie gets a nade onto Violent, and then Colors and Vanguard are going to be rotating, but then they're going to get dropped because Centaurs is already set up there. And Centaurs gets the 2k there because he's all set up basically. They're all in sight pretty much because of a nade and a couple of picks. Good offensive play yet again by the FairyTale team. FairyTale is going to be having a one setup at the moment. They got 4 players at bridge, 1 player on the defenses in mid. He's going to run into Looksy fairly soon here. He gets a kill into Looksy, and then Hoopsy gets the trade, and then Violent gets a nade on Shinmazu. A couple of trades, and now it's a 3v. Wow. Okay, Flo gets a kill into Hoopsy, and now it's a 2v4 advantage for Lucky. And that was fairly quick. A couple of nades and some unfortunate plays by the offense. And they're seeing a possible round loss now. Surreal and Suntars being the only ones up for their team. Surreal's got the scope. He can do work. He's gonna actually see Volt Tackle there, and he's gonna get the pick onto him. He's gonna X9 him. A little bit of a rivalry right there. Trash talk being thrown in between both of those players. Surreal and Centaur's going to be rotating over to 2. I don't think they know that Flo. Actually, he doesn't matter. Surreal's going to see him there. He's going to get the pick onto Flo. And now it's up to Centaurs to get the last remaining players. He gets 1 with a headshot on Violet. Now it's up to Vanguard or Centaurs to clutch the round. Clutch situation for both players. Vanguard's going to be pushing his side. He's going to see Centaurs get a few bullets onto him, and now there's a heavy advantage for Vanguard right now with while he's sitting at full HP and Centaurs is only half. But they're going to run into each other, and then Violence Vanguard is going to get Centaurs there for the clutch. That was actually a pretty good play by the FairyTale team there. They managed to pick up 3 kills and get the bomb down. However, Surreal ended up getting shot up by, I believe it was Vanguard, unfortunately, and that kind of threw off their plans. And Centaurs wasn't able to pick up those last remaining kills, so tied all at 3. There's a 2 setup right now for FairyTale. They've got 3 guys at double door and then 2 guys at warehouse. They're pushing it out. Violent gets a kill onto. Wow. Okay. A couple of trades. Okay. Nice 3K from the FairyTale team there. And then Surreal gets a shot into Volt Tackle. He X9s him again. He's really showing him who's boss at the scope. FairyTale is all set up. They got bombed down. They pretty much got this round. And Surreal's talking more crap there, telling Volt Tackle to pick it up. Vanguard gets a nice 2K right there. He actually he's the opportunity to possibly cut. I don't know. He doesn't have enough time, in my opinion. He's gonna lose this round because of the fact that he has 0 time. He actually manages to get a 3K either way. No clutch, but a nice 3K by Vanguard. And now it is 4-3 in advantage in favor of FairyTale. Bit of a split offense going here. There's 2 players at 2 warehouse and then 2 players at 1 bridge. And then 1 player in mid, fairly spread. Surreal gets a shot into Volt Tackle, but Volt Tackle actually didn't die for some reason. Unfortunate. I'm sure he was really looking forward to that X9. Centaur pushes into sight through double door, but then gets dropped by a camping PX Violent. Shinmazu gets a shot into Flow, and then Violent gets the trade onto Shinmazu with a nice headshot. And then Looksy gets a nice trade onto Violent, and they're going to be pushing through double doors fairly quick here. Hoopsy with a nice nade on Volt Tackle, and they're going to be pushing in a side. There's a 3v2 advantage for FairyTale. Looksy gets a shot into colors with a headshot. Vanguard is actually flanking right now. They don't know it. But then Hoopsy actually turns around in time to see him, and he gets the kill.
Operation success. Return to main base.
And that'll be another round win for FairyTale. And that's 5 rounds to 3, which is pretty unheard of. I'd say this is a really defensive map, and the defense isn't doing much to stop them. I mean, they got 3 rounds, but still the offense has gotten 5 rounds, and yeah, it's not enough It's not enough for the defense there. Cyril gets the first. Actually, no. Luxie got dropped by a nade. Cyril gets dropped by a grenade, but yeah, there's a couple trades at 2 apparently that I missed, and just now Cyril got naded, so now it's a 3v2 disadvantage for FairyTale. Volt tackle at scope is still up, sitting at 5.5 and 7. However, he's not really doing much on this map. Like, I guess this is just not one of his maps. So I guess there isn't really too much an advantage for the defense at the moment, seeing as their scope can't do much on this map. It's all up to the riflemen. Centaurs gets a few bullets from Vanguard through the wall there. There's a lot of wall banging going on. Some great wall banging by the defense. Hoopsy's got the scope actually, and he gets a pick into Vanguard there. And he's going to see colors. He gets a shot into colors. Now it's 2K, and they're going to be pushing into sight fairly quick here. They see Volt Tackle in the doorway. They get Volt Tackle, Shinmazu into Volt Tackle, and then one player up on the defense, and then Shinmazu gets a 2K there. So a 2K from Hoopsy and a 2K from Shinmazu, and that cleans up the game, or the half, I suppose, for FairyTale. And they actually managed to win on offense 6-3, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Lucky really needs to step it up here. This is the final map, and FairyTale is looking really strong. They got 6 rounds on offense. 6! Alright, waiting on Luxie to get back in here. Score was 6-3. Luxie should be getting back fairly soon. The defense there is all readied up for some reason. I don't know. They're gonna. They should be swapping sides here. FairyTale's gonna be on defense, and Lucky's gonna be on offense. And like I said earlier, this is a heavy defensive map, so my prediction is FairyTale's gonna take this. Maybe close. I'm not sure. It's possible, but then again, it could be incredibly lopsided because FairyTale's got a big advantage with a 6-3 score. All they need is 4 rounds. Well, waiting on the last player for FairyTale. Suppose, again, while we're sitting here, waiting on this player. Follow the Twitch you are currently watching. Subscribe to the YouTube, so youtube.com/CGO Media, and like the Facebook page. I'll actually look that up right now and give you all the link. If I can find my web browser. There it is. Okay, I found it. Don't forget to like the Facebook page. Facebook.com/the CGO. There you go. And now that I know that, I'll probably never forget it. Yeah, I did. Apparently he can't follow. I invited him and then told him the password. Broken room? Okay, he's in, never mind. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Everybody's ready, we're starting in. FairyTale on defense. Lucky on offense. Da-boom-boom. Okay, this lucky team setting up for a 2-site take, it seems, or possibly warehouse to 2-site. They've got 3 players in mid. They're gonna be working up to 2 right now. Volt tackles, sees Surreal, but then Surreal manages to get away. Looksy, oh wow, Shinmazu and a double kill grenade there puts them in a big advantage. The big 5-3 advantage. Surreal into Violent in mid. Now it's a 5v2 situation. Lucky's looking fairly unlucky right now. Surreal pushed up mid, didn't see Flow there. He's going to be pushing up to the grass. He's going to get shot in the face. Or nope, never mind. Yes, he missed that easy headshot. He drops him regardless. Flow's gonna get shot in the back here, it seems. Oops, he's kept headshot. Boom, headshot. Dropped. And then he tells him to knife him. Okay. As if shooting him in the head wasn't enough. Okay. Now it is a 4v1 situation for Vanguard. He's got 4 people to kill. Hoopsy's right in front of him. He drops Hoopsy, he's got Looksy at 1 HP. Centaurs is going to push in, oh, he gets Looksy right there. Now it's a 2v1 situation. He's going to meet in with Centaurs here. But then Centaurs cleans him up with the M4. And that's a round win in favor of FairyTale. Volt Tackle seems to be stressing a bit because they lost that round. Anyway, first round goes to FairyTale, and it looks like it probably will end up going. The map will end up going in favor of FairyTale. Surreal gets the first pick onto Violent in mid. It's a 5v4 advantage for FairyTale. Volt Tackle and Surreal trading a few bullets in mid. Volt Tackle and Surreal actually missed each other. Probably because they're a bit jittery. They got a bit of a rivalry going on there, a bit of some trash talk going in between both of them, so their shots are a bit jittery. Lucky's got 4 players in mid at the moment. They're going to be setting up to rotate. Setting up to rotate to 1 at the moment. Full Tackle's going to be peeking into spawn at the moment. He's going to be waiting on somebody to possibly peek him. There's 4 players set up at 1 for the offense. Nothing much going on at the moment. 5 players still up for the defense. They're just waiting on 1 pick and they'll probably just push straight into sight. Hoops is getting shot up a bit by Colors. He's sitting at half HP. Volt Tackles. There goes the phone. Alright, the phone's done. Perfect timing for a phone to go off. A house phone at that. Anyway, the round goes in favor of the defense. That's 2 straight rounds for FairyTale. I missed the action, I suppose. Anyway, FairyTale took that round as well, and now it's 2-0 in favor of the defense. Violent is going to push into site 1. He gets shot by Hoopsy. Vanguard's going to get a few bullets into Hoopsy. Colors gets a nice nade into Centaurs, and then a nice kill into Hoopsy. He's got site 1 taken over right now. They're going to probably push into site 2 and set it down. Volt Tackle into Looksy, and Surreal into Volt Tackle. He's probably going to... Well, no X9? Okay. I was waiting on that. Colors getting bullets into... Colors got a few bullets into Surreal, but Surreal denied him of the kill. He got a quick snipe into him. And now there's 2 up for the defense, or offense, excuse me. He got bombed down. Surreal's got to get a couple of picks in order to win. He sees one and misses. I think he shot the tank there, and then Flo gets the kill. Colors on the assist. And the first round for Lucky right there. And I don't know. They're kind of sitting at a pretty bad spot right now. They're down quite a few rounds. They need 6 rounds in order to win at the moment. And actually no, they need 5 rounds to win. Looksy gets a shot into Violent as I'm trying to speculate the possible outcome. Now it's a 5v4 advantage for FairyTale here. As I was saying earlier, FairyTale only needs 2 more rounds to win this map, while Lucky needs 5. So I mean, a bit of a challenge for Lucky. Yes, challenge for Lucky at the moment. Vanguard's gonna be flanking Looksy right now. He gets a couple shots into his back, and then Centaurs comes and trades. Flo gets a shot into Surreal as he's trying to rotate through mid. Centaurs looking sitting at 1 HP. Hoopsy and Shinmazu sitting at full HP. There's a 3v3 situation. They're going to push through double door, but then they get dropped by Shinmazu, who's just camping the corner there. Gets a quick 2k. Now it's a 3v1, now 2v1 situation in favor of FairyTale. Flo's got to get a kill. No, he doesn't. Never mind. Shinmazu gets a 3k that round in order to put FairyTale in a great advantage. Great situation to win this map. They've only need 1 round, and they're probably going to get it actually within the next couple of minutes, either this round or next. I predict they're going to get this round win, seeing as there's a heavy disadvantage and probably a morale drop. Looksy gets a kill on the Volt Tackle. Hoopsy gets a kill on the Violent. Flo gets a kill on the Looksy. Shinmazu gets a kill on the Flo. So much action going on down here at 1. Shinmazu gets a 2k. And Colors nades himself for a good game. Colors basically gave up on his team there and just nades himself, and that's a good game.
Enemy troops eliminated. Operation success. Return to main base.
And that's a good game for FairyTale. They take the 3rd map. And that's a match win, 2 maps to 1. Good game, FairyTale. Good game, Lucky. And a bit of an unexpected outcome. FairyTale takes the victory over Lucky. Lucky wasn't strong enough. Volt Tackle wasn't carry enough. They played him on probably one of his worst maps, and FairyTale managed to get the better of him, and they'll be moving on to week 3 of CGO. Top 4, I believe. Just kidding, everybody's still in. Okay, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube, youtube.com, CGO Media. Don't forget to follow this Twitch you're watching right now, and be sure to like the Facebook page, facebook.com, the CGO. And I'd also like to thank Area for the 70k AP prize pool that they'll be providing. And thank you for watching.